how we want to do this. Because my remarks are based around well, no, we can do it this way. I'll do this.
You want to do yours first, then call me up?
Yeah. Is there a flag in here? Yes, we do.
Can I have your attention, please? We're going to get started. Would everybody please come to the room? Grab a seat if there's a seat. Can I have your attention? Hello? Can you hear me now? Very good. Very good. We're going to get started with for the reason that you came today to swear in our new Assistant Fire Chief here in West Hartford. But before we get started with that, I want to just go over some housekeeping. For those of you who are not from Town Hall, the exits, follow the signs out behind us. There is lighting along the floor in the event of an emergency. Just kidding. Restrooms, for those of you who are not familiar with the building, they're on the opposite wall in the front of the building, either side of the elevators. So as we begin, if you'd all rise, and I'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And after the pledge, please remain standing for the 3 wildland firefighters that have lost their lives in the last 2 days in the wildfires of California. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. So, here we are. We're going to begin a new chapter in the history of the West Hartford Fire Department. We're going to be swearing in a new Assistant Fire Chief today. And I get to do that just before I make my exit out of this place. So that's good too. So there'll be a lot of changes in the fire department over the next several months. Today with us we have Mayor Cantor, Town Manager Matt Hart, and I see some of our department heads. John Phillips. Greg, you might want to turn around. I haven't introduced you to them yet. We have our Public Information Officer, Renee McHugh. We have the police chief in the back and the 2 assistant police chiefs. Let's see. We have Rick Ledwith. You met Rick yesterday. I'm trying to, places I haven't been able to get him to yet. You're all here, so I can just hit it all at one time. Let me see if there's any other department heads. Any other department heads? Any other council members? Oh, there's Peter in the back. I'm sorry, Peter. You don't forget Peter. He's a money guy. That's right. Told me to stay away from him. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna throw out some remarks about our new assistant chief, and then our mayor's going to get up and she's going to have some remarks along with the town manager, and we'll get to the real reason why we're here, and that's Greg's oath. So this young gentleman over here, he started his career with the Avon Fire Department a long time ago, back about 1992 maybe. And back then, I think he was having an identity crisis. He couldn't decide if he wanted to be a police officer or firefighter, and I think that kind of throughout his entire career, he's had that identity thing. He just kind of walks that line. So. He decided he wanted to come to work in West Hartford, which was good because we were looking for a good qualified candidate to replace Assistant Chief Richard Wynn, who's standing in the back. Chief Wynn retired on October 31st after 33 years of service. And since then, he's graciously stayed on to help us keep the department moving forward. And he's also doing some orientation with Assistant Chief Priest. So it's a big help for us, and it's a help to Greg to get him acclimated in the process. So when Chief Wynn decided to retire, we did a recruitment process, and we hired Greg from some very well-qualified individuals. Chief Priest brings to his role a strong commitment to public service and a background that encompasses firefighting, emergency medical care, and law enforcement. I keep telling you about that bleeding blue thing. I mean, you got to work on that. His career began in Avon in 1992 as a volunteer firefighter and police cadet. He was hired as a career firefighter and paramedic at the University of Connecticut in 1997. Most of his time at the University of Connecticut he had right over here in Farmington. So we know Greg. We've worked with him over the years. So he's certainly, he's not foreign to us. He progressed through each rank in the department, attaining the position of fire chief of the Yukon Fire Department in 2016. In this position, he was responsible for 44 sworn personnel operating out of 2 fire stations, one in Storrs and one in Farmington. He was also responsible for the fire marshal and building inspector's office with operations at all the university properties statewide. So he's like an octopus. He had a lot of tentacles out there. A dedicated medical provider, he became a tactical paramedic in 1999. Over the course of his fire service career, he served as a tactical medical provider for the City of Meriden SWAT team and the North Central Connecticut Emergency Services Unit, as well as providing medical support for the FBI New Haven SWAT team. In 2003, Greg became a sworn part-time police officer working in a small Massachusetts town of Sheffield. That cop thing, I mean, we got to work on that. Assistant Chief Priest holds an associate's degree in paramedic studies, a bachelor's of science degree in fire administration, paramedic studies, and criminal justice, and a certificate of business mastery for public service professionals. He's credentialed as a chief fire officer, chief EMS officer, licensed paramedic, tactical paramedic, certified fire officer 4, fire instructor 3, and a hazardous materials technician. He maintains his police officer certification still after all of that, and works in the patrol division of the Southwick, Massachusetts Police Department part-time. He's passionate about effective integrated responses to critical incidents. He has used his command and operational experiences to supplement several working groups in the creation of local and statewide documents, policies, and training for active assailant incidents, most recently serving on the NFPA 3000 Committee for Active Shooter Hostile Events Responder Standards. Greg's a lifelong resident of Connecticut. Greg has 2 children, and he lives in the town of Salem. Interesting enough about that NFPA 3000 committee that he's served on, Dr. Kamen, where are you? Dr. Kamen is also on that committee. So, and John Oates is on that committee, correct? So we're very fortunate in the state of Connecticut to have 3 members on that international committee developing those standards. So, you know, Connecticut's a great place to be, and we've got a lot of smart people. So I'm going to turn the podium over right now to our mayor to make a few statements, and we'll move on with the program.
I wore my heels so you could see me above the podium. Thank you, Chief Allyn. It is an exciting day in Connecticut, in West Hartford. Again, we're welcoming a new leader into our community. We just welcomed our new police chief recently. Yeah, you can't have that job. But I just want to welcome our guests, the Priest family. Thank you for being here and supporting our new member of our community. And thank you for members of the fire department, the West Hartford Fire Department that are here, and guests that are here as well. We are really proud of our West Hartford Fire Department, all of our public safety personnel. The West Hartford Fire Department, though, has been in a unique position over the last couple of years, and a lot has been demanded of them. As mayor, I uniquely hear stories about all of our public safety personnel, but the firefighters in their new role as paramedics. I have heard so many stories about the remarkable work that they've done in saving a family member, or the way they've treated another family member while somebody else was under care, and their lives were being saved. These are life and death situations, and there's nothing more important. And our community is better off for the services that you all provide. And thank you so much. I know on behalf of the town council, we appreciate everything that you do for our community, and we're really, really proud of the way you deliver your services. Again, this is a unique time in West Hartford history, taking in the paramedic services 2 years ago tomorrow will be is our anniversary. And it was a big change for us. And some things are very, very smooth and have gone great. We have some administrative issues that we have to work out, and oftentimes there are challenges. So we actually have initiated an efficiency and effectiveness study to make sure that we are providing the best services at the best value to our taxpayers and our residents and visitors into our community. So we need a leader who has the experience and the expertise and the willingness to learn and to adjust. And I think from what Chief Allyn's remarks that you just heard shows that Chief Priest is prepared to do that and is in a position to do that job right away. So we're grateful for him for looking at West Hartford, for coming to West Hartford. I have very strong connection to University of Connecticut. I'm a University of Connecticut trustee, so I was a little sad and very happy at the same time. So, but Greg knows our town. I think he knows the challenges he faces and the opportunities that await him. I think it will be a great opportunity. One of the things that really struck me was he said, I have always felt that regardless of one's position in an organization, there is always something new to be learned or a topic that could be refreshed. And there's a humility there that we welcome and that we are anxious to work with you on. I'm confident that Greg has, again, the experience, the education, the training to help lead our fire department into the next generation. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations again, and welcome.
Town Manager Hart, your remarks, please.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you all so much for coming today as we welcome our new Assistant Fire Chief, Greg Priest, and his family to the town of West Hartford, to our organization. Chief, it feels like it was just the other day, and I was at your swearing-in ceremony at UConn, and we were so proud of you at that moment. And I was just so excited to see your application come in for this position here, because I knew about the great work you had done at the university and elsewhere. So we were very fortunate during this recruitment process. We had a strong response, a strong applicant pool, and I think that's a testament. That's a testament to the strength of our fire department and West Hartford's attractiveness as a community that really supports public safety. I'd like to commend the folks who led the recruitment. We had our fire chief, Gary Allyn, and our HR staff, led by Rick Ledwith, Pat Morawski, Nelson Petrone in particular, did a lot of great work with this recruitment, supported by Robin Hester as well. I would also like to thank the mayor, Mayor Cantor, and the town council for their support, the trust that they place in us, in the staff, when we're conducting these very important recruitments. So Assistant Chief Priest, Greg, I've been very impressed by your work ethic over the years, your preparedness, your ethics, your passion for what you do. As the mayor said, you're coming at a very critical time in our history. It's a period in which we're going to see a lot of transition. And you're going to have the opportunity to work collaboratively with your team, with other key leaders around the organization and our elected officials to help set the right path for the future. And based on your background and your experience, I think you're well positioned to do that, to work collaboratively with all of us to make good things happen. So in closing, I'd like to thank all the members of the West Hartford Fire Department. As public safety professionals, you hold some of the most critical positions in our larger local government organization. And how you interact with our residents, with our visitors, with our taxpayers each and every day really shows the value of what we provide to the public. So our fire department has a long history, a very positive history of strong leadership, strong management, and excellent community service. We're fortunate that we have many talented leaders and managers within the department right now, led by Chief Allyn. And I think Assistant Chief Priest will just be a tremendous addition to that team. So thank you all. Thank you all for coming again today, for showing your support for Greg, for our new Assistant Chief, for his family as he embarks upon this next journey in what has been truly a tremendous career to date. Thank you for joining us, Chief. I look forward to working with you.
Okay, it's time. Chief Priest. This is your part. Come up here and you're going to receive the oath.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Do you, Greg H. Priest, solemnly swear to obey the Charter, Code, all ordinances and resolutions of the Town of West Hartford, the policies, rules, and regulations of the West Hartford Fire Department, to always protect and serve the citizens and visitors of the Town of West Hartford, and to perform all of your duties as Assistant Fire Chief to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. My turn? Well, thank you very much. This document may look long. It's only about 4 minutes based on my dress rehearsal last night. So I'll add a little crowd stress, and we've done about 45 seconds. Everybody hold on. All right. So first, I'd like to thank and recognize Chief Allyn, Mayor Cantor, and Town Manager Hart for putting your faith into me. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm formally joining the West Hartford community. So as I look out into the crowd, I truly am. I'm humbled by all those who I see here showing your support. And knowing me, I grew up in the Farmington Valley, so I feel like I am truly home. Never desiring to have my personal situation be at the center of attention. When Town Manager Hart asked me to say a few words, I immediately got a few butterflies and went, oh boy. But as I sat down to reflect last night on what concise remarks I might be able to make today, I found some inner resolve and came up with some following thoughts. So, in so much as today appears to be about me personally, it is not. Today is about recognition for my family, blood or extended, who have provided me with an ethical bearing, unconditional love, positive role modeling, and have been supportive of my public safety career. So today is about recognition to all of my coworkers, my friends, and my mentors in the public safety field who have encouraged me, supported me, and provided me with the experiences necessary to attain this position. So those who really know me and have worked with me, what that really comes down to is you've been selected to some of my electronic dance music, some crazy sense of humor, and maybe the occasional practical jokes, but my new family here in West Hartford will get used to that. So today is recognition about the community of West Hartford and the high level of attention towards public safety. Chief Allyn, Town Manager Hart, and Assistant Chief Cincy Gallady have, and Chief Wen as well, have and continue to set the bar high for executive leadership, as well as our battalion chiefs who are providing superior hands-on leadership daily. So I can't be more pleased to be joining this team. So I think I've been here for about 12 hours. So I do think, and I don't just think, I know, right? We have a very dedicated group of caring individuals who provide a blanket of safety to West Hartford 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So I wanted to speak publicly to Chief Allyn and then to my coworkers in the fire department. So Chief, you've given 30 years of service to the West Hartford Fire Department. You've placed your faith in me out of a very qualified candidate pool for me to fill the assistant chief role. So to have obtained that faith is an honor, and I will give you nothing but my best in return. So to my coworkers in the fire department, I see you've made it in from the hallway, which is where I would love to be as well. But to my coworkers in the fire department, today is not about me. It is truly about us. I'm privileged to have been asked to join your team, and we all have roles to play on this team. So be patient with me as I learn you and this new role. Change is an inevitable part of life, and I will do everything in my power to be communicative and transparent in matters small and large. But above all, know this: West Hartford has and must continue to provide outstanding fire and EMS services to our community. We must value excellence and pride in the department, have expectations of each other, and reinforce relationships that have a trust as a cornerstone and foster a culture that prioritizes a sense of shared mission. I seek to leverage our collective strengths and shore up our individual or collective weaknesses. I commit to actively participating as a member of the team and advocating for the fire department personnel in the pursuit of outstanding service. I pledge always to make decisions that are in the best interest of our department, because our community depends on us to be a team. So furthermore, I want you to go home every night, now and in the future, physically and mentally intact. Times are changing, and we knowingly and willingly take calculated risks for the benefit of our citizens. However, we should be very cautious about accepting known risks when there are available strategies to minimize them, whether by changing our culture regarding work practices, wearing our PPE, improving our work-life balance, or addressing stresses through peer or formal support. So regardless of our positions in the organization, we must rely on each other to always have our back. So lastly, to the town leaders, staff, residents, visitors to West Hartford, I'm here to support Chief Allyn and other public safety leaders to ensure that you receive the service that you would want or expect a family member to receive. I intend to be accessible and willing to hear your feedback as we adapt and remain in consistent pursuit of efficient and effective fire and EMS services for West Hartford. So again, thank you all for being here today. There's a lot of you. Thank you very much.
Very good. Very nicely said. Welcome, Priest family. Welcome to the big family here in West Hartford. You can move into town anytime. We'll start looking for places for you, you know. But thank you all for coming today. I believe, Peter, is there sandwiches back there? Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because you're all standing in front of the table, and I didn't want to say, step back for refreshments, and there were no refreshments. So thank you all for coming today to give Greg a send-off and the next chapter of his career, since he's already completed one career. He's starting another one. We're really going to work on that blue thing. We're really going to work on that. But in any case, Greg, we're happy to have you. Thank you all for coming, and please help yourself to refreshments in the back. Thank you.